Ancient Chinese fossils reveal animals evolved much earlier than previously thought. A groundbreaking discovery in southwest China is forcing scientists to redraw the timeline of life on Earth. A massive assemblage of over 700 fossils from the Jiangchuan biota reveals that complex animal groups, including the distant ancestors of vertebrates, were already diversifying millions of years earlier than the current fossil record suggests. Bridging the evolutionary gap for decades, paleontologists have struggled to understand the missing link between two pivotal eras. The Ediacaran period, characterized by strange, soft-bodied organisms, and the Cambrian period, which saw the explosion of modern animal groups. Until now, the transition between these two periods appeared abrupt and mysterious. However, the newly analyzed fossils, dated between 554 and 539 million years old, provide a rare, transitional community. This discovery suggests that the biological foundation for much of modern life was already being laid during the Ediacaran, rather than appearing suddenly in the Cambrian. Why this discovery matters. The preservation factor, the significance of this find, lies not just in what was found, but how it was preserved. Most Ediacaran fossils are found as simple impressions in sandstone, which often fails to capture fine anatomical details. In contrast, the Jiangchuan fossils are preserved as carbonaceous films. This method of preservation is much more detailed, similar to the famous Burgess Shale in Canada, and has allowed researchers to identify complex biological structures that were previously invisible to science. Our results indicate that the apparent absence of these complex animal groups from other Ediacaran sites may reflect differences in preservation rather than true biological absence, notes Dr. Ross Anderson of Oxford University. This implies that these animals may have existed globally, but we simply lacked the perfect storm of geological conditions to see them until now. Key evolutionary breakthroughs. The Jiangchuan biota contains several lineages that redefine our understanding of early evolution. The ancestors of vertebrates. The site contains the oldest known relatives of deuterostomes, the massive group that includes humans, fish, and other vertebrates. Ambulacraria. Researchers identified fossils of early relatives of starfish and sea cucumbers. These organisms featured U-shaped bodies and stalks, used to anchor themselves to the seafloor. The chordate connection. The presence of these ambulacrarians strongly implies that chordates, the lineage leading to animals with backbones, must have also existed during this period. Diverse life forms. The assemblage also includes worm-like animals with complex feeding mechanisms and rare specimens interpreted as early comb jellies. A new view of Earth's history, the sheer variety of anatomical features found in these fossils, many of which do not match any known species from either the Ediacaran or Cambrian period, suggests a much more complex and crowded ancient ocean than once believed. By uncovering these transitional forms, the research published in Science provides a much-needed bridge in the history of life, proving that the explosion of animal diversity was a gradual process of refinement rather than a sudden biological miracle. Conclusion. The discovery of the Jiangchuan biota proves that complex animal lineages, including those leading to humans, were well established during the Ediacaran period, suggesting that the history of life is far older and more continuous than previously documented.